Hi, this is the Majin Bougie channel. This is the deck profile for the Son Goku Legendary Super Saiyan with the Must Krillin engine using the new one drop Krillin from the World Martial Arts Tournament Anniversary Box expansion. Okay, that said, let's quickly get into the deck profile. Again, this is the leader, Son Goku. It has an auto burst 2 when you attack. You have to do burst 2, and then you pitch one green card to your drop, and then you draw 2 cards. Its awaken is at 4 or less life, and you choose 2 energy and awaken. On its awaken side, it has auto sparking 5, and then when this card attacks, draw 1 card, and if a Krillin card is in your drop area, this card gets plus 5k and double strike for a duration of turn. It is a Son Goku and it's a Saiyan. Okay, that said, let's put that up in the corner. Alright, so let's go straight to the deck profile. Let's start with the battle cards. So, first is 4 Krillins. 2, 3, 4. These are the one drop and from World Martial Arts Expansion Anniversary Box. This card has the ability to, when the leader's on the awakened side, it costs energy 3 plus 3, so it becomes a 4 drop and it gains blocker. And then when you play the card, you get to draw. The next one drop is 2 newfound power Son Gohans. This is your self-awakening piece. You take 1 life, and then you get plus 10k in crit. Next, 2 Tenacious Spirit Son Gohans. When you play this card, you get to draw, and later on, when you pay 2 energy during the main, it gets plus 15k, making it 20k crit. Your super combo pieces: 4 Defensive Stance SS Vegeta. It's a super combo, sparking 5. When you combo with the card, you got 5 energy, then you get 5 in the drop, then you get draw a card. Let's just kind of organize this a little better. Next is the 3 new Fledgling Duo Son Gohans. So this makes it so that for each one of these out on the battle area, it reduces the entry cost of the Krillin cards by 1, but you still have to pay the specified cost. Now 3 energies, 3 Hyperspeed Son Gokus. This is for self-awakening. Really good because you can choose 1 or 2 cards from your life, and it gives it plus 15k and crit, making it 30k crit. Next 3 cost is SS Son Goku Energy of the Gods. This is a promo. What's nice about this, 2 of these. What's nice about this is that when your opponent has 2 or more battle cards in play, it reduces cost by 2, making it a 1 cost, and then you get to drop it with sparking 3. The next 4 Krillins. Now I like this Krillin a lot because it's got the draw, so I kept 4 in here. It does have barrier, and also if your leader card is green or black and this card is in rest mode, your opponent's cards can attack leader cards. So good defense as well when it's in rest. So 4 of these. Next, 3 Fledgling Duo Krillins. So I reduced this down to 1 and added the other 4 just so that I still like the ability that it's a blocker, but it's also, I like the ability to KO something. So I like to have this deck surrounding some KOing, so I kept 3 in here for the purpose of KOing. This is if I'm not getting the 1-drop Krillin or something to that effect, so then I can go this alternate round. So 3 of these. 2 Surprise Attack of Frieza's. This is the one where, like, if your opponent's battle card's KO'd, he comes out for free from your hand. And it's got crit, so you get a 15k crit body. Next is a 4-drop Vegeta Fully Recovered. So I combine this when you play this card from the drop, it gets dual attack. Also, when this card attacks, choose up one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less and KO it. So you can KO bodies that are 4 or less. Also, I do combine this with another card that lets me then also perform the the dual attack. 4 Final Showdown Son Gokus. Really critical since this is the must kill Krillin deck. This is a double striker. It has when a Krillin card with energy cost 4 or more in the battle area is KO'd, your opponent, by your opponent. If your leader is green or black, play this card from your hand, and you can't play Final Showdown Son Goku for the duration of turn. So in other words, when they KO one of the 4 drops, or when you're awakened with the 1 drop, he comes out if the Krillin is KO'd. Also, what's really nice is that when you can then, when you play this card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So again, no energy limitation, you can just KO something that's got barrier. So when he comes out, then on your turn, you can have, if you have this card that's Finishing Spirits Bomb Son Goku, you EX evolve, pay 1 green energy, place 1 card from your hand into the drop, and then evolve this on top of the Son Goku with energy cost 5 or more. Again, it has double strike, and then when the card attacks, you can choose up to 3 battle cards in your drop area and combo with them. So you can do really cool tricks with your super combos to then bring them back out, get the draw, and also combo with them. And last, the other large body I like to have is 6-drop Awakening Rage Son Goku. You can evolve, paying 5 energy, 3 being green, 2 being enemy, on top of a Son Goku. It's really nice. There's several Son Gokus here that you can target. If you've got a Krillin in your drop, this card gains triple strike. Its base is 25k. When you play this card, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, which the total cost adds up to 6 or less, and KO them. So you've got the KO ability as well. So as far as extra cards go, we've got 4 Shocking Death Balls. Standard green. If you've got Sparking 5, you don't have to tap an energy, you can just take a life, and you can also KO something 2 or less on your opponent's field. Next we have 3 Feet Kamehamehas. So with this card, if your leader is Green Son Goku for the duration of the battle, it gains 15k, it's activate battle, gets 15k and crit. Next we have Frieza's Army Healing Pod. We have 2 of these. I don't use it for its first effect, but I use it for its second, so when I have it out, I can pay 4 energy, 2 being green, then I can place this card into the drop, and then choose 1 battle card with energy 4 or less from your drop, and then play it. Last is 2 Preemptive Strikes. So here we've got, so you can basically, if you, your opponent plays a battle card with 4 or less energy, you can then force that card to go to the drop instead of being played. It does not have choose, so it just happens. So let's look at different aspects of this deck. For Self-Awakening, these are your pieces for Self-Awakening. Obviously you see Newfound Senpai Gohan for 1. Your Shocking Death Ball, if you've got the Sparking 5, you can pull that also for life. And then with Hyperspeed Son Goku at 3 energy, you've got 1 or 2 life, and then you can gain the crit plus 15k. So he gets 30k crit, this gets a 15k crit, and then of course your negate. The other thing I like to look at when a deck is how many pieces I can plus with, meaning like when I play a card, I have an ability to either take life or draw immediately. So these are all the cards that let me do that, perform that. Of course, your Tenacious Spirit Gohan, your Krillins, this is off life. This is if you've got Sparking 5. This is automatic if you've got 2. It pays. It's more efficient when your opponent has 2 battle cards. This is off life. This off life. Persistent is from the draw. And of course, on your Son Goku has the ability by pitching a card, you can draw 2 cards. Burst, of course. And then, of course, on this side, you attack. You can gain a card that way. So half the deck. If we look at here, we've got 25 cards here that give you some kind of ability to gain a card when you play a card. So at least 50% of the deck lets you do that. Okay. So for this deck, I like my opening hand. This is pretty much the main engine of the deck. What I'm trying to do is make sure I always try to get my Final Showdown Son Goku in my opening hand. That's probably the most important piece. The Krillins, because there's so many of them, there's a good chance that I'll draw into one and then I'll determine what strategy I take throughout the game. So one drop Krillins, I do want to mention I prefer to have the one drop Krillin brought out probably as close as I can to my awakening turn, just because it's got no barrier on it, so it's easy for your opponent to pop. That being said, when you do awaken, it becomes a 4 cost with blocker, so it's somewhat similar to this blocker 4 drop Krillin over here. Okay. So what I am trying to do again is get that 4 drop out, and then go into the final showdown Son Goku, and then on my turn either use the Finishing Spirit Bomb or the Awakening Rage Son Goku to put on more pressure or try to finish off the game. Okay, so early on in the game, you do want to use that burst 2. You want to get at least 1 Krillin out in your drop area. Also, because your super combo is a Sparking 5, you want to make sure you get 5 early on, so you can start using that super combo if needed early on in the game. So burst 2, pitch a card, and then draw 2 cards. So, and then you awaken. When you awaken, it becomes 15. Plus, it's got the Sparking 5, which you should already have. There's no Overwhelm cards in this deck. When this card attacks, then you draw a card, and of course, if you got a Krillin, hopefully early on, and then it gets +5 and the double strike. Anyway, so that's this is the main engine. You're trying to get the Krillins out. This Fledgling Duo Son Gohan makes these Krillins more. You bring them out more efficiently. It has barriers, so it's a little bit more difficult to deal with for your opponent. One thing, yeah. So then when they either have to attack into this one, or you can block with either of these two. And then when they get killed off, you bring this out. So you make sure this is in your hand at that time, and then in the next turn you bring out one of these two. Okay, that's the main engine. Some other things that I'm doing in the deck, another strategy also is the combination of the Awaken side plus the Feed Kamehameha. So on the Awaken side, again, when you have Sparking 5 and you attack, and of course you draw. If you've got a Krillin in your drop, which you'll be paying attention to, it gets +5k and double strike. So there you go, you got 20k double strike on base, and then when you attack, then you also cast the Feed Kamehameha. It gives this guy +15k, bringing it up to 35k and crit. So you've got +35k crit double strike just with these 2 cards alone. The other thing I'm doing, and I just realized now maybe I might want to have more of these cards, but the other thing you're doing is bring out the Frieza Army Healing Pod, and then have this in the drop. So if I happen to get this card, I will combo intentionally early on with this card, giving it +5k with my attacks. This gets put in the drop. Okay, once I've got this in the drop and I have at least 1 healing pod out, what I'll do is then my 4 energy, if things aren't looking good, but I know I have got this, or if I got, like, if I'm playing an announcer deck and if there's a lot of bodies out there that I can KO because they don't have barrier. So what I'll do is I'll pay the cost for the activate main, put this in the drop, bring this out. Okay. And again, what this does is when you play this card from the drop, it has dual attack, and when this card attack, choose up to one of your battle cards with energy. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy 4 or less and KO it. So it can't get through barrier, but it gives you two attacks, and you can also attack KO 2 of their bodies. And then on top of that, because you've got so much KOing, you can also bring out the surprise attack Frieza. Another thing that you can do with this deck is that these are all your KO pieces, the pieces that you can KO just outright by playing, or when it comes out, when the Final Showdown Son Goku comes out, or you can use the Vegeta. These all have some KOing ability, and because of that, when you do KO a battle card, you can automatically place Surprise Attack Frieza from your hand. Again, activate this skill when your opponent's battle card is KO'd. You cannot play more than one, so I'm not going to have a lot of these in my deck, but you may play this card from your hand. So in summary, this is the deck. Primarily here are your Krillins, and this is your Final Showdown Son Goku with this leader. Okay, Legendary Super Saiyan. Thank you for watching. This is in response to several comments asking for the deck profile. I did make, this is my second attempt making this video since the full martial arts anniversary box came out, incorporating some of the one-drop Krillins. And this is the YouTube channel Majin Buju. Thank you for watching.